I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. This night is extremely special to me because there's someone very special in the audience tonight. Welcome to Mexico City. I hope that you guys have a joyful time tonight. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the music. To the gentleman who brought me the wonderful flower, thank you very much. It is my first time actually receiving some flowers. I have a special song for this gentleman sitting in the back in the dark glasses. This is dedicated to you. I see you have been watching me all night. Okay? This one is dedicated to you. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Money, 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 money! Money! Money, 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 money! Money! Money, 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 money! With the candy! Money, 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 money! Looking for a candy! Money, 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 money! Money! I ain't saying I'm a gold digger. I ain't messing with a broke. I ain't saying I'm a gold digger. I ain't messing with a broke. Money, 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 money! With the candy! Money, 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 money! With the candy! Money, 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 money! With the candy! I ain't saying I'm a gold digger. I ain't messing with no broke. I ain't saying I'm a gold digger. I ain't messing with no broke, broke. Thank you. Thank you for coming out tonight to enjoy Mexico City. I will see you tomorrow at the same time and same place.
Actually, I wanted a European passport.
Yeah.
I dated.
To tell people that she does not give a SHIT.
I don't give a.
The video is not to discriminate against any group of people. This video is not to incite any type of violence. So it is all peace over here. We love everyone. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy my video. This is merely a reaction on a statement that, or a comment or a statement that was made on a huge platform, and I would like to address it. So yes, like I said, Rocio came out fuming, and what I expected from her and what she should have done, in my opinion, was to come out on the channel that she made that derogatory statement about Black Americans. She should have come out and say, I apologize for what I said about Black Americans. It was not my intent to hurt anyone, but if it affected you, I apologize. This is what I meant and how it was said in the context that it was said. It was not meant to hurt anyone. Those were the words, or something similar to that, that I expected her to come out and say. But no, she went on her channel that is completely separate from the channel that she just talked badly about African Americans on. And she came out fuming to tell people that she does not give a shit because one subscriber reached out to her and tell her she's going to unsubscribe and she was wrong for saying what she said about Black Americans. And I completely agree with the subscriber. Now, Rocio, you are receiving donations from a lot of Black Americans. Your husband, because you call him your husband, is receiving a lot of donations from Black Americans. In fact, Aaron Dante is a Black American. He lives in America. That's where he makes his living. He has a room in the villa. He puts a lot of money in the villa. He gives a lot of donation to Marwa. He is a Black American. You include him in that group. You generalized when you say you do not like Black Americans. And you need to apologize to the Black American people for saying that. You need to apologize to the people who are feeding you, the people who are putting food on your table, who are donating to you, because you guys get a lot of donations. That's your job. You have no other job outside of YouTube. This is how you make your money. That's your revenue. Who do you think is paying your bills? These are the people paying your bills. You need to apologize to them because they're the ones sending you money.
I don't like Black Americans.
Don't say that, they will finish you.
So you're insulting all of us. in America. You just received a free bike. Who did you receive that free bike from? Probably an African American. And what bothered me most about this entire comment that she made and how people reacted to it, I remember when that woman in Jamaica, when Trudy interviewed that woman on the street in Jamaica, a random woman that looked like she didn't have it upstairs up here. And Rocio pretends to be an intelligent young woman, and people always rave about how intelligent she is, right? So let me give you an example. So this woman said she didn't like Africans, and she gave her reasons why she didn't like Africans. She was wrong for saying that. Even me got on it and I said, this woman is wrong for saying it. But every single person I know, they went on her, they got on her, and they were so upset. And Africans, a lot of Africans were upset. A lot of Jamaicans were upset that she said that, because it did not represent what she said, what came out of her mouth, did not represent the entire Jamaica. All Jamaicans does not dislike Africans. Yeah, you may have 1, 2, or 3, but they all do not dislike Africans. And vice versa. Not all African women are bad. That woman was generalizing. Right? So why is it that Rocio should get away with saying she does not like African Americans, and no one is talking about this? No one is getting on her for saying something like this. Why? Because she's a Muzungu. The 2 African women sat there at the table and watched her say this, and they said nothing. The African man as well, he sat there at the table and he said absolutely nothing when she said this. Her man was the person who said to her, don't say that. And he knew why he said that, because he knew this was on his channel, and the only person that this will affect is him in the long run. Yeah, so, you know, that really bothered me, and that's why we need her to come out, and you need to apologize. You need to apologize to Black Americans. If not, this needs to be plastered all over YouTube, where this Muzungu said that she disliked Black American people. And, you know, that roundtable talk, I cringed at that roundtable talk. And I will get into it, but I just wanted to get that piece out of the way, so that you guys can know what was said and how she reacted to it after people came at her to tell her that she was wrong for saying it. So let's get into, you know, how she met Marwa. They were,
You know where I found her, for example, in her case, I found her in Mexico.
Yeah. But then, and so, of course, then you were a public figure and had a bunch of videos on YouTube.
Okay.
So yeah, I did my research a little.
We're having a conversation. I saw a video. They were having a conversation about how they met. Someone had asked this question, and she said, "Oh, well, you know, when he was in Mexico, I don't know. I think he approached her. She approached him. I don't know. From what I've read about Argentinians, they are aggressive with men. They approach men. They're always out there looking for a man."
If you have money just like anywhere in the world, you can easily draw people's attention in Argentina. Especially women here really love to have fun, and there are thousands of men coming from abroad to meet Argentine women. Even if you are a man, it is very easy for Argentine women to get to know you and flirt. At least that's what our friends living there say. In fact, the meaning behind a politely asked question in Argentina can be quite different. For example, if a man asks an Argentine girl to go out for dinner, the meaning under the question is much more than that for girls. People can be together with someone they just met after having dinner in Argentina. The beginnings of long-term relationships can even happen with partnerships after dinner. Indeed, Argentine girls dress very openly and showy even during daylight. For example, when meeting a man, they generally prefer black leather pants or loose-fitting black sexy dresses. The guide says that girls are hunting for men in the streets even during the daytime like this.
Okay, that's what I've read and from my research in doing this whole thing. And I don't want to generalize that it's all of them, but this is what is out there on the YouTube streets, that the women are very free-spirited. When you go to Argentina, they're always at a bar. They're fun people. They can have dinner with you today, and by tomorrow they go home with you, and the third day some of them will marry you. That's how quick they are. That's how quick they are, and it's probably a reason why they're like that. Maybe they're trying to get out of the country, and perhaps that's why they're like that. I don't know. As I was saying, how she got to meet him, they met in Mexico, and she said that, oh, they started talking, and then, you know, he probably told her about who he was and how popular he was in Africa and how popular he was as a YouTuber and how he traveled the world. But she had to do her background check. She did her background check. And the moment she said that, I thought to myself, you know, this guy, instead of having someone like him for him or organically, he doesn't. He has to tell someone what he owns, what he has, and of course she Googles him, and you know, it's public information how much money he makes on YouTube, and she saw dollar signs. So when she said at that table that I just wanted an African, I was looking for an African. No, you were not looking for an African, madam. You were looking for money. And since you couldn't get it from the blonde, blue-eyed men or the African American men, that is why you say you like Africans. You like money. That is why you're clearly only with this guy for his money. And I cringe because of how this guy has low self-esteem. He doesn't really think that he is good looking. He constantly say that she is better looking than him, and he doesn't know why she chose him. And at the table, he kept asking her over and over and over. And this is how this conversation came up about Black Americans, because he kept asking her over and over, Mom, why did you choose me? Mom, why did you choose me? When you had all these other men to choose. Because at the round table, she said several times, her choice was blonde, blue eyes men. Her choice was European.
I was very attracted to Europeans, like really blonde, tall Europeans.
Yeah.
Frenchmen. I love Frenchmen.
Direct.
That's why I'm laughing. At least you can be safe that I'm not here for passport interest with you, you know.
Her choice was Frenchmen because they are so sexy. And the look on her face when this girl said blonde, blue eyes, sexy. And I just looked at him and I'm like, I can't believe she's saying this in front of her man. And it caught him so deep that he asked her so many times about it. Even when they sort of divert from, you know, that topic or that piece, he comes back to it over and over to ask her several times. So, why did you choose me, Mom? Why me, Mom? And this is when she came out and said, and he said, oh, why? You have black men from over in America too. Why didn't you choose them? And this is when she said, I don't like Black Americans. Yeah. Low self-esteem, you know, and this is why he's always chasing someone who has a lighter skin, and I can understand that, you know, some Africans are like that. And then he talked about why he wants to marry a Muzungu and the passport strength, and he wanted her for her passport and the look on her face. And then she said to him, and they were going back and forth. This is just was the worst round table talk. They're going back and forth where she says, after he said he wants her for a passport, she says, oh, well, you're going to need me. And then he had to get one up on her. It's like, no, I won't need you because I've been traveling all over the world. I don't need anyone to travel over the world. My children will need you because my children are what, you know, what I'm looking out for and their future. And they need to marry I need to marry a Muzungu so I can get a better passport for them so that we can travel, because African women, they have nothing. And I couldn't believe these two African women sat at the table and allowed this man to degrade them and degrade Africans and degrade the people of Africa the way he did at that table. African women has nothing. They can't give me what I want. They can't travel outside of Africa. I'll have to be fighting for them. So people, I'm not from Africa and I've never been to Africa. Are you guys telling me that there are no women who can travel outside of Kenya? There are no women who can travel outside of Africa to go anywhere? Is that what you're telling me? Because he was generalizing when he said African women. He meant all. So even though, even when he said that it was about passport, let's forget about that. Because if that were true, then there are different races in every single country. He would have chosen a black woman from another country that has a strong passport, such as America, right? Or Europe. But no, he doesn't. It's not about the passport. It's about the color. The guy has a color complex. He has low self-esteem. He don't think he's attractive. And he needs someone with a lighter skin tone on the side of him. I'm not going to say good looks. And I'm being careful right now what comes out of my mouth. But I'm not going to say good looks. I'm going to say color. He needs someone with a lighter skin tone on the side of him to make him feel more superior, because to him in Africa, someone with a lighter skin tone is superior to everybody else. It appears that's how it works in Africa. I don't know, guys. You tell me in the comment. So those were some of the things that were discussed, and then he went on to talk about how he has a visa and a B1, B2 visa, and he can go anywhere in the world, and he can go to America and he can work on his visa, so he's not looking for a woman to help him so that he can go somewhere to work. Sir, you cannot work in America. Stop giving people wrong information. You cannot work in America on a B1 or a B2 visa. It's a visitor's visa. You come, you visit, they stamp your passport, you have to leave before 6 months. And if you stay up to 5 months, it's a problem. You have at least 3 to 4 months before you get out of this country. And it's 6 months per year, not 6 months per visit. So get your facts straight. And yeah, so he just run on with just a bunch of nonsense to make himself seem like he is extremely important, while she was there just hanging on, trying to tell him, you're going to need me to help you. As if Argentina can help him. So let's get into, Argentina, and, he's making it seem like she's from a country, yeah, the passport is strong, but the country is extremely poor. She's not from a wealthy country. There are no jobs in Argentina. A lot of them live off of government assistance. There's hyperinflation. $1 equals 1,000 pesos on the black market in Argentina, or probably 800 and a half, 850 in a bank or Cambio or Western Union. In fact, they suggest that if you go to visit Argentina, walk with cash, bring cash, because there is no money in the ATM machine. This is how bad it is in Argentina. It's a beautiful, beautiful country, but when I went there was dog poop on the streets in Buenos Aires. Dog poop every single place on the streets. There were girls everywhere trying to sell. Because I think, it's where there's poverty, there's going to be those type of things. The people were friendly. Some of them were friendly, but of course there are some people who state that country, has been a lot of race issues in the past, and I won't get into that. You can Google Argentina, and you will find out why there are not a lot of black people in Argentina. There used to be. In fact, there's a huge African influence in the tango. Now they have made the tango very Europeanized. As I said, Argentinians believe that they are Europeans because they are mixed with Italians. So it's not like America where you have the one-drop rule. If you're mixed with something else and white, then you are that something else. Example, if you're mixed with black and white, you are black. You can't be white. Argentina, it's the opposite. If you're mixed with something else and Italians, you're an Italian. You're an European, right? That's how they see it, and that's why she says that she's a Muzungu.
And the people should stop telling her she's not a Muzungu.
Because they don't they don't look at race, and they don't look at all these other things. She's just what she is. It is said that in Argentina, the people believe that they're superior not just to black, but to other Latin American groups, especially their neighbors, which is Brazil and I think Chile. I'm not sure. Don't come for me if I'm wrong. And when they go to Mexico, they look down on Mexicans because they think they are white and the Mexicans, you know, are Latin. And one can understand why. It's highly influenced by Europe. So one can understand why they are this way. So when Rocio spoke about, when she was explaining her comment about not liking black people in America, she was saying we all have this thing in us from where we're from, and I agree. So yes, we all have something in us based on where we grew up and where we're from. And she was saying because of, you know, how black Americans are and how they're raised, she you know, she doesn't have a bond with them. She sees things in them that she doesn't like, and that's why she doesn't like them. She's also from a country where she's accustomed to certain things and she grew up a certain way, and that's why she is the way she is. Okay? Because in that country, like I said, they believe that they're superior. They believe that they're Europeans. They believe that they're white, even though they're from South America. And I had a conversation with someone who agreed with me on this. And as I quote, this person said, as an Argentinian living abroad, I can confirm how racist we are, unfortunately. When we go to school, we are not taught about natives and African population as much as the European immigrants. We grew up thinking we are Europeans living in South America. And that's how she grew up. So when she's making it seem like she grew up in this loving country that love everyone and love every people, that part is not true. And we can go back to the history of that. That is going to tell you that that is not true, madam.
They have a color preference. And this is a reality. It's no different than Italian women. And in fact, I think Italian women are a lot more flexible of dating men of ethnicity or men of color than Argentinian women. But Argentinian women are seen with only Argentinian men, Italian men, or Frenchmen. That's it. That's their range of men. Okay?
Right? So yeah, so that is basically what I wanted to talk about regarding her. And, you know, I will leave some clips of things that a lot of people, you know, have said after I did my research about the country and where she is from, and so that I can debunk her making it seem like she's from this loving country and her personality is so loving and different from African Americans. In fact, it's opposite. It is said a lot of racism in her country. I did not experience any of that, so I can't talk on that. I will not generalize on, you know, just a few videos that I've watched, because there's good and bad in every country. So I will give her the benefit of that doubt. So tell me what you think. Tell me if you think that she meant what she said in a derogatory way. I know, let me add as well. I think one of the reasons why, this is my point on that comment. Let me just end with this. This is my point on the comment, the statement that was made at that round table regarding Black Americans. Did she mean it in a racist way? No, I don't think so. I think the issue with her and Black Americans is, like she said, she dated a lot of Europeans and Black Americans, and I'm like, you're 27 years old, darling. How many men did you date? You are 27. How many did you date? Oh, I dated a lot of European blonde hair, blue eyes, a lot. And I dated Frenchmen a lot. And I dated a lot of Americans. You're 27 years old. And it seems like you date the entire world already. Because if you're going to speak on African Americans the way you did, to generalize that you don't like them, then it meant that you slept with a whole lot of African Americans to make that decision that you do not like them. at 27 years old. How many run through it? That is a question. It's none of my business, but I'm asking because you mentioned it. So here is my take on why I think that this girl does not like African Americans. And I think she wanted to say African American men. And you should have said that. And you should come out and clarify this. African American men, and I don't want to generalize, I will say some of them, they don't tolerate nonsense. They don't put a certain type of women on a pedestal. Number one, they like exotic women. She is not exotic. Number two, they like Nash. The black American men, the black men, they like Nash, darling. And if they're dating outside of their race, you need to look better. You need to look better than what they're looking for inside of their race and they couldn't find. A certain type. Number two, they're not putting you on a pedestal. You're not. Unless, like I say, you are of a certain type. And even when you are, they don't. Number three, and I will say some, I'm not generalizing people, I am not. I will say some. Number three, they're not going to let you sit back like a princess. You need to cook and you need to clean. That's the first question they ask you when you date them. Can you cook? They like a woman who can cook. And it is said that Argentinians can't cook.
I remember when I was in Colombia, they told me they don't like the Argentinian. I asked them why. They told me because they can't cook.
That's what I heard. They can't cook. That's why they sit up in the house, be princess, wait for someone to take care of them. African American men, they like to be 50-50, some of them. They like to be 50-50. You have to help with the bills in the house. You have to work too. You have to bring an income home. So these are some of the reasons why she probably doesn't like them. They probably didn't approach her and, you know, come with money to throw on her because she is not exotic. She doesn't have a body type that they like. And perhaps that's why she disliked them. While Marwa was a complete different person. He has this skin color complex thing where anything light skin to him is beautiful. If you're light skin, you're beautiful. If you're dark skin, you're not beautiful. That is what I think about I Am Marwa, and I'm calling his name because I don't care at this point. And so when he probably saw her and saw her singing or saw her with her guitar, you know, or she saw him and he's trying to get her attention, whatever, buying her flowers or buying her something to drink or something to eat, that surprised her because an African American man rarely would do that. And then he promised her the world, you don't have to work. And as she said, even on the balcony when she was talking to Dee, though that was in her conversation, you need to find a man who's going to take care of you, where you don't have to work, where you don't have to do anything, you just sit back and relax. An African American man is not going to do that. A lot of them. If you find one that will do that for you, it is extremely rare. Caribbean men and African men, they're the ones who were raised to take care of women in that way, not African American men. So if that is what she meant, she should come out and clarify that. She should also apologize to the people who she may have hurt, because those are the people sending her on vacation. Those are the people who will be sending her on vacation in a week or two. Girl, if you don't want to lose your money, if you don't want to lose your subscribers, and if you don't want this to get out all over the place, because this clip is going to pop up over and over and over, and I think you need to apologize on I Am Marwa's channel, because that is where you made this derogatory statement against a group of people that is extremely sensitive when it comes to race relations. And if you don't know that, maybe perhaps if you're going to be on public platform, you need to read about these things. You need to be careful what you say. You have enough money, you guys can get some sort of PR person to help you with things like these when it happens, because this is your job. Standing in front of camera and speaking is literally your job, and you have to be careful what you say, when you say it, and how you say it. Thank you guys for watching my channel. Thank you for always coming back. I know this was, a serious discussion this morning, and I rambled on a bit, but hey, I had to get it off my chest. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know if you think what she said was, something racist, or was it just, she was just referring to the way African Americans treats her when she was in Mexico on the side of the road with her guitar. But thank you guys for coming back. I love you always. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Bye.